Well, we're talking about bad dog behavior. If your dogs bark at passersby like these, or if they bark at just about anything, that's bad dog behavior.
It is, and when you are, hearing dogs barking behind a fence like this is a sign that the dogs are probably either protecting their territory and their property. They could be fearful dogs, and dogs sometimes bark out of fear, okay? And it's a behavior that you want to stop, okay? You don't mind if a dog barks once or twice to alert you if there's something going on, but you don't want a dog to bark consistently.
And how do we get them to stop?
We basically teach the owners what to do. We train the owners to be the leaders of the pack and to stop the dogs when they're barking and teach them, educate them that they don't need to bark and that they don't need to be in a protective mode to protect their territory and their owners.
All right, thank you, Al. Now we're talking bad dog behavior, and dogs that jump on you like this is bad dog behavior.
It is, because it's not just enthusiasm, and that's not just that they're happy to see you. It's what's called active dominance, and a sign that the dog is trying to dominate you. So dogs that are jumping beans like that or jump up on their guests all the time, also dogs that try to gain height, it's all about gaining height, remember, it's a sign of dominance, and it's a behavior you really want to correct.
And how do we get them to stop?
Well, you want to teach your dog to stop jumping, okay? You want to get the dog to stop jumping like that, okay, so that your dog just stays in one position. And that's a really simple way. We would give him a little growl and a clap, and he would stop jumping.
All right, thank you, Al, and we'll see you tomorrow morning with more bad dog behavior. All right, we're talking bad dog behavior, Al, and this is an aggressive dog. This is a bad dog behavior. Why is she doing this?
Yeah, she's fearful, okay? Most dogs are aggressive out of fear, and you can hear her whining a little, and go, but then she'll lunge out and nip a little bit. She nipped my shirt, she's nipped my hand. Most dogs are aggressive out of fear or dominance, and there are a few other reasons for it. But dogs that show aggression clearly have issues that need to be treated.
And how do we treat that? How do we make her not bite at you?
We teach her that she doesn't need to be fearful, protective of you, dominant, those kinds of things, and it's a process. And it can also involve, a history of abuse. It can involve dogs that are in pain. It's a complicated situation, but there are a number of different approaches to take with dogs that are aggressive.
And is this a problem that can be solved?
Of course.
All right, thank you, Al. We'll have another bad dog behavior for you tomorrow morning. We're talking bad dog behavior, Al. Obviously, this is a bad dog behavior.
Yeah, this is a dog who's looking right out the window, okay? He's on alert. He's gained height. Height means dominance in the canine world. And a lot of times when dogs are on alert and they're looking out the window and barking at people, it means that they are being protective of their owners, their territory, their house. They're on alert. They could be fearful, okay? And in this case, you've got a dog who is on alert and is watching his property.
How do we get them to stop this? This looks a little destructive.
Yeah, this behavior, again, is all about teaching the owners to be the pack leaders, okay? So that the dog doesn't feel like he needs to be in this role. This dog is a barker, okay? And he's going to bark. Yeah, he's going to bark a lot.
Thank you, Al. We will see you tomorrow morning with more bad dog behavior. We're talking bad dog behavior, and another bad dog behavior, Al, is when you call your dog and they don't come.
Yeah, and that happens to a lot of people. And what's going on is the dog is showing some dominance. The dog is not respecting the owner. And if the owner really were dominant, okay, the dog would respect the owner and come when the owner called him, okay? So the dog will always test. And if the dog doesn't come when you call it, you need to solve that problem.
Like Sydney here. Sydney often doesn't come when you try and call her.
Come here, Sydney. Sydney, come here. Come here, Sydney.
Anything we can do to get her to come when we call her name?
Yeah, I mean, you really need to show her that you're the leader of the pack and that you're dominant in this exchange, okay? So that if she realizes that when you call her, by definition, if you're her pack leader, she should listen to you. And so we teach the owners how to do that.
And now it's time for the big reveal. Portland's naughtiest dog is Annie the Pit Bull. Annie the Pit Bull did win the contest, and Al Holzer is going to tell me, how did you pick this naughty dog? What's so bad about Annie?
Well, first of all, there were so many great entrants, and for those people, they think they have naughty dogs for them. So it was not easy to pick. Annie was jumping in the window when we drove up, trying to get out of the window to get at us. And then the owners really physically had to restrain her. She looked like she was very ferocious. They were holding her with all their might. They can't let anyone come into their home because of Annie's behaviors. Annie digs up the backyard. Annie goes ballistic if a dog comes outside next to their house. If any children come outside in the backyard, Annie is just unstoppable. She begs for food. She's uncontrollable, and she jumps unbelievably. She gave bruises and welts to the other trainer that was with me jumping on her.
Wow, you just made me realize I have a good dog, Al. Thanks for
Bella's
that.
a sweetie.
So that's how he came to the conclusion to pick Annie as Portland's naughtiest dog. And we decided that since there were so many great entries, as you just heard from Al, that we are going to pick a People's Choice winner. So log on to coin.com, and on the left side of the screen, there are some blue lines. Click on Portland's naughtiest dog, and you vote. There are 10 dogs up there. Those were our top 10 choices besides Naughty Annie. And we are going to let you choose. And the winner of the People's Choice poll is going to win half off of BarkBuster's Dog Obedience Home Training. Guaranteed results for life. So not only one big winner, but two this morning.
Great. Very cool. It sounds like Al needs some hazard pay.
Yeah, he does need hazard pay. We'll talk about that later.
Into here.
I know, Annie's quite the dog.
Congratulations to Annie.
Congratulations.
That's right.
Yes, go get him, Annie. Annie the Pit Bull from Southeast Portland won that title. We wanted to find out how she won that contest out of all of our many entries.
And we also wanted to know, did the BarkBusters guarantee for life training work on the naughtiest dog in town? Well, KOIN News 6 reporter Casey Montoya is live at our newsroom with the update on all that. Casey?
Good morning, Art and Jenny. Well, those dozens of entries poured in, but Annie the Pit Bull had the winning story. Annie was adopted from a rescue organization about a year and a half ago and has all the signs of classic abuse and abandonment. BarkBuster says Annie stood out because she had so many bad dog behaviors. Digging, jumping, barking, and did we say digging? Well, Annie was known to chase cats and become aggressive with other dogs. She even scared family members and friends from coming over to their house. So after just an hour of BarkBuster's training, did Annie's family see any changes?
Absolutely. This right here is a huge improvement. You know, an hour ago, she would never have got close to anybody without, you know, being crazy. But in just the last hour working with BarkBusters, I've really seen a big difference, and they taught us a lot in a short amount of time, definitely.
And see for yourself, a much calmer Annie. No jumping, no barking, and no temptation to dig. Her family says they're amazed. The Lindstrom family of Southeast Portland says it is hard work keeping up with the new changes and being consistent, but it is so worth it.
We really love to save dogs' lives. So many dogs, millions of dogs, are put to sleep, are abandoned, are mistreated every year because owners just don't know what to do with their frustrations and their dogs that are giving them a hard time.
For more information on their training methods that they use at BarkBusters, log on to our website, KOIN.com. Art and Jenny?
That is amazing.
It
1
really
hour?
is. After 1 hour, and Annie had lots of issues.
Wow. Yes. Well, she had lots of
Yes.
issues.